are not thinning at all. This excitement is not going down at all, and this is very much palpable here right outside the Narendra Modi Stadium. All of the people chanting the chants of Modi, chanting the chants of India. Of course, the priorities go cricket, the Prime Minister of the country and the Australian Prime Minister, and that's exactly what we see from the people that we have been speaking to since morning. And the number of people that are not, they are refusing to go down. The number of people still increasing, and we are expecting, because the BJP had said that they wanted to make a world record of 1.32 lakh people to be inside the stadium as well. And that seems that it would be possible today as well. But speaking of the entire itinerary of the Prime Minister as well, since yesterday we have seen Anthony Albanese, in fact, coming to India via Gujarat, spending some time in the Sabarmati Ashram, then going to the Raj Bhavan and also celebrating Dhuleti with the Chief Minister and the Governor and several other cabinet ministers. And today, of course, now we see both the Prime Minister, that now that they have met, the real talk and the real reason for the visit of Anthony Albanese as well, that will take place. And from here in Mumbai and in Delhi, where the conversations with the MEA S. Jaishankar will also take place. But the starting of this entire 4-day visit has started like this, in a very candid atmosphere, with both the Prime Ministers having met their respective teams as well, and then spending some time together on the sidelines of the cricket and talking soft diplomacy as well. Nupur.
Absolutely. The focus, of course, is going to be on a range of issues between India and Australia. And, one of the things that is going to be on top priority for at least India, Priyanka, is going to be to become a larger trading partner with Australia. The two countries, of course, do share a very close relationship in terms of economic ties, but India would perhaps aim to increase that, because I'm going to come back to you in just a bit. This is, I think, a tweet that has come in from the Australian Prime Minister. A picture also of the two leaders over there appears to be like a selfie. But the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese over there saying celebrating 75 years of friendship through cricket with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So the two Prime Ministers over there, of course, were watching the match together. They also did meet their respective teams, and thereafter now, of course, over the next 3 days, there will be a range of issues that will be discussed. The security of the Indo-Pacific, the global challenges that mounted by China, economic ties between the two sides will be top of that agenda. Of course, I'm going to go back across to Priyanka right now. So, Priyanka, we just saw that tweet coming in from the Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, give us a sense really of how the mood was. And that mood is extremely essential, of course, because this is part of the soft diplomacy that we are seeing between the two sides, Priyanka, isn't it? Priyanka, can you hear me? All right, I don't think Priyanka can hear me right now, but we are going to go back to her in just a bit. But pictures on your screen are of what appears to be a selfie that's been clicked by the Australian Prime Minister. And he tweeted that a little while ago, talking about how India and Australia, of course, are celebrating 75 years of that relationship. Of course, there have been ups and downs, but the next century perhaps will bear witness to the strengthening of not just strategic but also economic ties between the two sides. Pictures on your screen are also of the Narendra Modi Stadium, where the 4th Test match between India and Australia is being played. It began a short while ago. The two leaders, of course, also did a customary lap of the stadium, of the ground rather, and thereafter, of course, met the two sides. This, of course, is being looked upon largely as soft diplomacy between India and Australia. This is going to be a 3-day visit, I beg your pardon, of the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. I'm going to go across to Priyanka right now. Priyanka, we were just taking our viewers through that selfie that's been clicked by the Australian Prime Minister and posted on Twitter. But essentially what we are seeing, Priyanka, is soft diplomacy on display between the two sides. But give us a sense of how things go from here on now. Obviously, economic ties, top of the agenda, and strategically also this visit very important, isn't it? I'm just going to try this once again, Priyanka. I think, as most times, jammers will be in place, and then that's why perhaps we can't really hear you. So it's a frozen picture again. But Priyanka, if you can hear me, give us a sense of what's happening right now. I was earlier asking you about how important this visit is, given the deepening economic as well as strategic relationship between India and Australia.
Right. Yes, Nupur,
all right. So we seem to have lost that audio connection once again. But just to tell our viewers, both the Prime Ministers have now left the stadium and will be heading now towards a day of talks between the two sides. This is the 3-day visit by the Australian Prime Minister, the first by an Australian PM since 2017.